Good take. All right, on to other news. An antique shop in Katoomba is under fire for its shopfront signage, which Jewish groups have slammed as anti-Semitic. The president of the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, David Ossip, said the sign would not be out of place in Nazi Germany. Now, here's the painting. It's a depiction of puppet master Krampus, a centuries-old devilish character known for its anti-Semitic features and connotations. Featured on the painting was this message, riddled with spelling and grammar mistakes, mind you. Quote, "The Zionists own your government, install all politicians, control the justice system, print all currency, own pharmacy and medical. The military and police are their lapdogs." The shopfront also featured a Free Palestine flag. Louise, I continue to be amazed at how anti-Semitism is just so blatant in this country. You'd thought it would have died down by now, but it seems to be ramping up.
Yeah, you're right. It's a really heartbreaking situation, and it's actually quite hard to believe that this is happening in our own country. But this is what happens when leadership is non-existent and it's allowed to flourish. There's a gap, and this is what's coming through. I mean, it seems to be that there's some sort of immunity around anti-Semitic behaviour. It's allowed to continue on. It's allowed to escalate with no sort of consequence. And it's like, how far can you push the barriers? And that's what we're seeing, push, push, push. So I think this really is the result of a lack of leadership, a failure of leadership, and some people take advantage of that. And this is the really terrible consequence of that.
Well, speaking of consequences, Caroline, will there be any consequences for this kind of thing, or it's just bad press?
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Look, there's obviously civil laws that are already in place which say that you can't vilify. And we also know that there's talk about potential criminal laws that relate to the same sort of conduct. The issue is you might have laws, but you actually have to enforce them. So it'll be interesting to see whether the police force or any other relevant body, Human Rights Commission, whoever, decide to make an example out of something like this, because it's actually really revolting. It's every trope that you can possibly think of in one shopfront. And you would think, mate, of all things, it would be safe to go antiquing, and that's not even a respectable, decent, hobby for people to partake in these days without getting this sort of rubbish shoved in their face.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's talk about local